And welcome back to another CBB Talk. If it looks like I'm filming this, with the same shirt on, don't think anything weird. I'm filming it right after my SEC preview. So here it is, the last awards plus predictions, the fifth one. So go watch my other four right now. They're all out. Go do it. Watch the whole thing. Let me know what you think, because I took a lot of time in this, made all these slides, did all this, did my research, and getting ready to talk about the Big East. Man, this is better than the fifth best conference of basketball. Had to save it for last. The Big East tournament, always in North and in NYC in MSG. It's the mecca of basketball, and it's one of the best conferences in the whole sport. And always something crazy goes down. Pac-12, get out of here. Big East. I love the Big East, man. There's a lot of good teams in this. An exciting conference that could have some dark horses in there. The Player of the Year, the awards are hard to give out. So this is going to be a fun one to do. It was a fun one to make. So let's get it. I'm gonna go share my screen and do my normal awards. By now, if you're watching this video, you probably know my awards. You probably know how it works. So let's get into it, baby. Okay. So here it is, my Big East Conference. I don't know why Seton Hall's so big up there at the top, but it is. So what can I do about it? Here it is, the Big East awards / predictions. I didn't put any text on these things, I just realized, but who cares? Who cares? If you click on this thumbnail, I appreciate you. If you don't actually know who I am and you just like watch this video for fun, you're a Big East fan, man, nice to meet you. I'm Will. I'm about to make you a great Big East predictions and awards. These are mine. I think they've already came out. These are mine, so let's do this. Let's do this. So here it is, the Big East awards. Oh, shoot. Freshman of the year. I didn't mean to show, guys, but here it is. Donovan Clingan, Alex Caravan, and Cam Whitmore. God, I'm sorry. If this is your first video of mine, go watch my other one so you run smoother than this. I did not mean to do that. Anyway, here it is. My Allen Iverson freshman year. Here are your nominees. Are Donovan Clingan and Alex Caravan from UConn, and Cam Whitmore out of Villanova. This is the Allen Iverson Award. As a freshman in Georgetown, Allen Iverson was a beach. So I have this ACC tournament on my phone right now because Virginia Tech's in a really close game. They were my dark horse in the ACC, and they're right now losing to Notre Dame. Mike Bray's come with fire. This could be his last game ever in Notre Dame. And then Charleston's up 7 right now in the CAA championship. See if UNCW can steal a bid. But here's the freshman of the year race there. 2 UConn guys, 2 good, great role players for UConn. Donovan Clingan was a real sleeper guy there, and he came up and played great backup minutes for Dama Sanogo, especially early in the season. Still doing it really good, though, but I think he's settled in more to his comfort. Came back a little bit, but you can see, look how big his hands are. He's a big man. He has a lot of potential, and he has a lot of room to grow there, and he's done a great job backing up Sanogo when he needs a break. Caravan's gone in. He started some games. He's a great wing, can shoot the ball and makes the right play. And Cam Whitmore, man, this dude is an NBA talent. Probably going to be a top 10. He's going to be a lottery pick, I'll say, for Villanova. He was injured coming into the year, and then once he came back healthy, I mean, you can see that he's been the best player for Villanova in Knights. And he's really just, Villanova's having a down season, but he's been a bright spot for this team. And I know many people are going to want him to stay, but he's not. He's going to be a league player because he has NBA. He has so much NBA talent, and he will be playing in the biggest stage. But here it is. The award for the Allen Iverson Award for Big East Freshman of the Year goes to Cam Whitmore out of Villanova. I know this team hasn't won as much as the UConn guys, but he's been the best freshman by far. He can score at every level of the game. He's just been, a real game changer offensively for Villanova. And without him, who knows where he'd been. He leads freshmen in points at 12.9. He leads freshmen in rebounds. He leads freshmen in steals, second in blocks. So what he does, he's second in minutes behind Caravan, but he's not the most efficient guy, but he still shoots over 30% shoots 34% from 3, 47% from the field. So he's just a really good player all around for this Villanova squad, and I think he has real potential to be a great player in the NBA. He's definitely the best NBA talent, maybe in the whole Big East. So giving this award wasn't too hard to give it to Mr. Whitmore. But this next one might have been the best award, best nominees. So, oh my God, why is this fresh transfer of the year? Eric Pascal goes to Sule Boom, Umaja Gibson, or Bryce Hopkins. It wasn't doing this earlier. When I'd press it, it would just lay on the screen, and then I don't know what happened. Man, this is the most scuffed episode. I was so excited to preview this award. A lot of guys this could have went to, but here are my top three. The Eric Pascal Award. He won a national championship at Villanova in 2018. I think he's still in the NBA. I think he plays for Utah. Well, he might have changed. He's changed a lot of teams. He started off in Golden State, but he won a national championship. He was a transfer for Villanova, and he ended up becoming a great player. And man, I wanted to include Baylor Sharman in this list, but I just couldn't because Umaja Gibson's has been amazing for DePaul all year. He's I think he's top. What is he? He's top. He's number 6 in points per game there. Sule Boom's been amazing. Second in points. He averages 4 rebounds, 4.5 assists, 4 rebounds per game. He shoots 86% from 3. He's one of the best free throw shooters in the country. He shoots 42% from 3. He's just an all-around amazing player, and he's the engine of Xavier. And with Zach Freeman being out, he's going to be the guy who is, if they're going to go places in the NCAA tournament, in this Big East tournament, it'll be because of him. He's that good. And then Bryce Hopkins, man. Kentucky lost one, man. Kentucky had this guy, and I remember in the middle of the year when Kentucky wasn't good, I was like, man, they're missing a Bryce Hopkins. And he came out, and Bryce Hopkins has proved that he should have been getting minutes at Kentucky because he came in there. He's now averaging 4th most points in the conference at 16 a game, and he's not that big and gets 8.5 rebounds a game. So I know Providence has been up and down this year. They're going to be a tournament team, and he's the best player on this team. This award really was a 2-man race between Boom and Hopkins. I did not know who to give it to, but after looking, here's my answer. So the Eric Pascal Award for transfer year goes to Sule Boom. I mean, look at Xavier. Xavier is one of some of the best unis. They're underrated. Xavier, the left uni for Xavier it's amazing. But anyway, Sule Boom's just been amazing this whole year for him. I mean, second in the conference and in points. He's just an amazing player. I love watching him play. He might not be the prettiest game. He came from UTEP, started his career at San Francisco, and he's came up for Sean Miller and Xavier and just been amazing all year. And it's just great to see the way he's played all year for Xavier, the point guard of this team, and he will be up there for player of the year. He'll be one of the 3 guys. I'll spoil it now. So next one's Coach of the Year. It's the Jay Wright Award. I don't know if it's going to show you my candidates right away, so we'll see. See, this one's not. So maybe I effed up the last one, man. I fucked up. What do you want me to do? That was for you, Dad, if you're watching this. So here's the Jay Wright Award. Coach Jay Wright just retired. Have to give it to him. One of the greatest coaches of all time. Love Jay Wright. So here are your 3 nominees for Jay Wright, Big East Coach of the Year. Sean Miller, Xavier, Shaka Smart, Marquette, and Bob Hurley, UConn. I thought that one was going to pop up by the press limit. Anyways, all 3 of these coaches have led their teams to one of the best for top 25 nationally ranked teams. They're all top 4 in the Big East. And all guys have really gone over expectations. Sean Miller in his first year back at Xavier had tournament expectations, but not where they're at now. Of course, the loss of Zach Freeman is really going to hurt. We'll talk about them more in the conference, but they were at first place a lot of the time. And he's proven. You see, they got in a guy like Sule Boom. They just have a lot of really quality college basketball players. And what he's done there in his first year back at Xavier is amazing. I believe they finished with the 2 seed in the conference, and the future's bright for the whole Xavier college basketball program. Marquette and Shaka Smart, man. One of the best stories in college basketball. Preseason 9th overall pick, our team. And they finished first place by themselves in the conference. They're ranked 5th nationally. I think they're 5th in my rankings, maybe 6th nationally. But look at Shaka Smart, man. I mean, left Texas, didn't get fired, but it was probably a mutual agreement to leave. Goes to Marquette, a smaller school, and he made the tournament last year, and then this year what he's done is just amazing. And it wasn't because they grabbed a lot of transfers. It was just progressing guys. They got 1 transfer. It wasn't even a D1 transfer. He doesn't even play. So it's really just all guys from last year, a lot of sophomores, a lot of juniors. And they've all came together and played like a great unit, and Shaka Smart's a real reason because of that. And Dan Hurley, of course, UConn was one of the highest ranked teams coming into the year. Not coming into the year, but after the first month of the year, and then they went through a skid. But these last couple weeks, they're playing one of the best teams in basketball, and they might be a Final Four caliber team. They're getting back to where they were at the beginning of the year. Jordan Hawkins and Sanogo, one of the best duos in college basketball. Tristan Newton's an amazing player, and they just have they're a real deep team that can make a run in March, especially in this Big East tournament. So here is your award for Big East Coach of the Year. The J. Wright Award goes to Shaka Smart. I think Shaka Smart will be my National Coach of the Year. Of course, I'll decide that when the time comes. But right now, he would be my pick. It's just from 9th place to standalone first from a top 16, probably a 2 seed, 3 seed in the NCAA tournament in only your second year of the job. It's just amazing to see what he's done. We've already talked a lot about it, but Marquette basketball is in a great spot and a way better spot they were earlier. And Shaka Smart, went down from Texas, but him and them in Texas, both been really good this year. And both those teams in a great place, but Marquette is happy to have Shaka Smart. And I think this is a place where he thrives, in a place like Marquette. It's not the high expectations, but they're still there. And he's allowed to succeed from getting, kind of not top ranked players, but can progress them in becoming great college basketball guys. Here's your Player of the Year, though. The big award, the Doug McDermott Award, because Dougie McBuckets is one of my early college basketball memories, so I had to pay homage to my boy Dougie McBuckets, still in the league today for the Spurs. And where is he still? I think he's still in the Spurs, or he may have got traded. But last time I checked, he was on the Spurs. Anyways, it's Doug McDermott Award. Here are your finals. This is a really tough one to get 3 guys for. All these guys on this list, man, are just really good players, but there's some guys that I left off. Bryce Hopkins is one. Like, I want to put Bryce Hopkins in that top 3, but there's so many good players. So here's my top 3. Adama Sanogo, UConn. Sule Boom, Xavier, and Tyler Kulik of Marquette. Sule Boom. Adama Sanogo leads the conference in points per game, has 7 rebounds a game for one of the best teams in the country. There's not much more to be said there. He's not top 5 in rebounds, which is actually surprising. But UConn is just a really good team, and he's the big man. He's the guy they run through. He's one of the best players in the conference, one of the best players in the country, and one of the best bigs in the country. He can do really just everything inside. He can pound it into you. He can, not shoot a 3 amazingly, but he shoots he shoots at 1.5 a game, and he shoots them at 36% clip. It's not like other big men in college basketball. He can stretch the floor and be a threat out there. He's just a really good player. He was, I think, the preseason pick for this award, and he's lived up to the expectations. Sule Boom, we've already talked about a lot about him, but he's just such a good player for Xavier, really the most important player on their team, and it shows why he's there. And Tyler Kulik, man, he's a guy who is, if you look, he's 22nd in the league in scoring, so many people are going to be like, why is he here? But he averages 8 assists per game. I think he's top 2 in the country there. He's a junior. He came from George Mason after his freshman year. So he's actually a sophomore. He redshirted his freshman year. So he's only a sophomore there. And he's just such a good player. He's one of the best playmakers in the whole country. I think he's second in the whole country in assists. He can score a ball, and especially in his last couple of weeks, he's one Big East player of the week. He's one Big East player of the month because he's getting more scoring. He's scored 20 his last couple of games, and he's been really just that good for Marquette for the best team in the conference. So all 3 players have a case, and this was probably the hardest one to be like, who is my Big East player of the year? Man, I could give it to any 3 of these guys, but here it is. The Doug McDermott Big East player of the year goes to Tyler Kulik. And I know he only scores 13.5 points a game, but it's so much more that he does. He averages 3 rebounds a game and 8 assists. 8 assists is just a crazy number. And now he's scoring the ball. He scored 20 his last couple of games, and he's taken over a huge role for this Marquette team. I'm telling you, he was 22 last year. He switched to number 11, and he's just been a different player this year. I think he has the potential to take Marquette to a Final Four. Can he win the Big East tournament? We'll see. He's that good of a guy. I think he won the award in real life, and I wanted to give it to Sule Boom. But I gave Sule Boom his flowers earlier, and Tyler Kulik, man, he's one of the most underrated guys in the country. And when you're scoring 13 points, but also adding at least 16 more with your assist, it's better than the other guys. So that's why I gave it to Tyler Kulik. Man, he's such a good player. But let's get into these tournament predictions because a lot of people, that's what they're most looking forward to.